My hands were made to serve the king, not rot in idleness. This emptiness. I cannot bear it. I threw myself into nothing, and nothing is what I became. Nothing without my king. Nothing without my blade. Arthur? No. No, please. He cannot see me like this. He mustn't be made to look at me. My blade. My erendite. It remained behind. In the abyss. Deep in the weirdness. I cannot face my king without it. My sword belongs to him, as do I. I cannot kneel before him and offer him nothing. No, no, no. Don't speak that name. It's a traitor's name, hateful and vile. Let it be cursed. Let it be forgotten. I died a traitor's death, trampled and torn apart. Fitting. So very fitting. I thought that would be enough. But I failed him in life. How could one measly death be my absolution? I couldn't. I can't. I clawed my way out of the abyss, but came back empty-handed. Lancelot the brave. Lancelot the loyal. Lancelot the fool. Erendite. Oh, how I long to hold it again. Just the weight of it in my hand makes me feel almost whole again. Like I might be worthy. Like maybe not everything was lost. No. I know. I feel that he's with you. But there's nothing I could say to him. I won't beg forgiveness for my betrayal. I don't even know what I fear more. His mercy or his scorn. Please, as his closest confidant, take my blade. And I beg you, let me serve you and Arthur on your journey. Let me prove my devotion, my remorse, not with words, but with deeds. Let me earn his trust again. This is all I ask.
Your Majesty, it's an honor to have you among us again. Thank you for helping me find my way back to your knight. I regret not doing a better job of guarding him. My name is Fianola. I am here on behalf of the Royal Geographers. I was sent to do, well, Quite a lot of work, actually. And as useful as it would be, the wordness never blessed me with an extra set of hands. Say, traveler, how would you feel about joining the oldest, most prestigious guild in Avalon? Good, because you've already started. You found what was lost and opened a new path. What better way to prove yourself as a true geographer in the making? What is King Arthur without his faithful knights? Merely half a legend, if not less. They thrive by his side, and he thrives by theirs. And Avalon's foundations only grow stronger because of it. Sir Lancelot carries centuries of grief, and only serving his king once more can ease it. I appreciate your eagerness, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The other tombs are scattered across Avalon, hidden and sealed, waiting for the one who can call the knights back. Let your soul guide you. Find them, and I will find you. Everything. Our most important mission is preservation of Avalon and the pillars it was built on. We were sworn to protect the tombs of the first knights, but they were lost to us. There were rumors that the tombs were sealed, and only King Arthur could open them. Turns out, the rumor was true after all. I'm a Pict. I can sense the wordness and the spirits within it. I knew you weren't alone when I saw you emerge. The soul you carry, however weak it may appear, is deeply connected to the wordness, and to Avalon itself. Souls like that are rare. Besides, only the one who wields the power of Excalibur within could open this tomb, and that is rarer still. Yet you use our maps, don't you? Our work is vital, but often unseen. For centuries we've roamed this island, charting its every corner and noting the dangers that unsuspecting travelers might face. You should be more appreciative, you know. Avalon's nature is ever-shifting, ever-changing. The wordness transforms not only living beings, but the land itself. Some places become unreachable, while others that appear are new to us. And there are those that have been forgotten, waiting to be rediscovered and brought into the light. Why wouldn't they? My kin are familiar with the wordness in a way others can't be. With the fog thickening, we can reach places that have become inaccessible to most. Go well, traveler. There are more souls still waiting to be found.
Something's not right. I will be your downfall.
Oh, Lancelot. It was painful to watch what became of him. Confident, steadfast, eloquent. Nothing like the tormented soul you've seen. He was admired by the people and by his fellow knights. He had quite the following, though he never seemed to care for it. Only later did I realize how wrong I had been. He was also much sought after, left a trail of broken hearts wherever he went. But there was only one he ever held in his heart, and that was Avalon. I always believed Lancelot to be honest to a fault. He never hesitated to speak his mind, and I valued that in him as much as his loyalty. I trusted him completely, and I thought his faith in me, in my vision for Avalon, was just as strong. But it wasn't. I don't know when or how that trust was lost, and to this day, it still pains me. But know this, even in betrayal, Lancelot never sought to serve himself. He was a good man. Yet even the best of men can falter and lose their way. I forgave him long ago. What saddens me is that he still cannot forgive himself. But I understand why. The rebellion he led hurt not only me, it wounded all of Avalon. And Lancelot always hated senseless bloodshed. To be the cause of so much suffering, perhaps fighting by our side will finally bring him peace.
Ah, a visitor. It has been a while since we've had one, hasn't it, my dear Gawain? Will I need to carry the bones of my only companion to his resting place today? Or could it be that this is the day when our souls are finally laid to rest? I am Sir Bertilac, Wanderer. I keep watch over the cursed, restless sleep of dearest Sir Gawain. He is dear to me now, but long, long ago, I thought little of him. An honorless, arrogant whelp he seemed to me. But when I struck him down, and saw him look up at me in quiet wonder as he drew his last breath, I understood then that we were the same, both tools in the hands of those with power, afterthoughts in the games they played. With cunning, with expedience, he was given a choice: die with honor or live without it. But is a choice truly a choice if its only purpose is deception? Gawain chose life, yet I struck him down, and in the end, he got neither life nor death, only suffering, and me, the only one left to remember. The endless, hateful dance of a pair of siblings so alike, they were a mirror of each other. The Lady Morgaine had me believe I was meant to cut short the reckless, unruly ways of her brother's knights, to prove he let them act without honor. She said she only wished to be heard, but as I sat here, forgotten, I came to understand. She wanted Arthur to hurt, as she had been made to hurt. Apologies, Wanderer. For a very long time, the good Sir Gawain has been my only company in this place. As much as he was once known for his sharp wit, time and decay have taken his voice from him. I've grown used to our conversations being one-sided. I hope you'll forgive me if I slip into old habits. Challenge me, Wanderer. End my lonely vigil. And after I fall, take up my axe. Give my dear Gawain one last duel, and one final death. If you are the one the Lady Morgaine truly meant to punish, then at last we may find our rest. Now, will you fight? So be it. May the one who falls find peace.
Poor Sir Gawain, the knight who gave his life for the honor of his king. He didn't deserve to be forgotten. At least now, he has a purpose once more. We all want peace, but it rarely comes easily. The knights swore to protect Avalon, and now they have the chance to fulfill that oath. Sir Gawain will find his peace, as will you, and his majesty. But it will take effort from all of us. A strong king means a strong Avalon, and for that he needs his knights. The wordness is like a web. Without strong threads to hold it together, it tears apart, and chaos follows. Every soul wandering Avalon is one of those threads, but the ones who shaped it, their threads are the strongest. King Arthur and his knights once brought peace to Avalon. Their very presence helps to calm the turmoil, even now. Sir Bertilac, from Gawain's executioner to his protector. There's no need to worry about him. His soul walks Avalon freely now, shining bright. All of Morgaine's darkness has lifted. I'm sure he and Sir Gawain will cross paths again, this time without the shadow of a curse between them. I've been dreading that question, I won't lie. You've already met them all, I'm afraid. I'm the last remaining member of the guild, and have been for the past 100 years. Well, until now. You can see why I was so excited for you to join. A long life is a gift the wordness grants to many, but to me, it's been even more generous than most. Maybe I'll live only as long as I'm needed, or maybe longer. Whatever the wordness wills, I'll accept it, like I always have. It's a bit more complicated than that. The wordness is our fears, our desires, and the mark we leave on this world. It can be whatever we wish it to be, and we can become whatever it chooses to make of us. We are part of the wordness, and it is part of us. It shapes us, yes, but we can shape it in return. Not as well as the Foredwellers once could, but perhaps all we need is time. I was brought into the guild by Eleanor Dunn, a royal geographer who found the one dearest to her soul among my tribe. She lived among us for many years, but when her beloved became one with the wordness, Eleanor was allowed to prepare her body for the last rites, yet never truly as one of us. My people accepted their bond, but never her, so she left, and I followed her, as a good daughter should, even if not by blood. I met a few more members as I traveled with her, but over time they grew fewer and fewer, until only I was left. But as long as one of us is still alive, so is the guild, and I won't let my second family be forgotten. The road is long, but the next tomb awaits.
I'd rather not speak of him, but I suppose I owe him that much. Morgaine and I, we shared only half our blood, yet both inherited the worst of our father's traits. Pride, arrogance, stubbornness. I was angry at her for humiliating me yet again, and angry at Gawain for falling so easily into her trap. He was never the perfect knight, nor did he try to be. But he was brave and bold, and he didn't deserve to become a pawn in our quarrel. I should have taken more of an interest in his fate, but there was always something more pressing. Until I ran out of time. Although, if you think about it, we did end up sharing similar fates.
you don't look too pleased. Did the trickster play us for fools? No, no. I may be old, but not that old. But I was once involved with a man who did. He knew the First Knights personally. He used to tell me stories about them. Some funny, some sad. I think he missed them more than he cared to admit. But not the king. When it came to Arthur, he had nothing but contempt. And sometimes that contempt bled into everything else. Oh, so you've met him. Oh, of course you have. I should have guessed. You brought back His Majesty, and he is the center of Caradoc's very existence. Ugh, he's such a miserable sod. I'm sure he knows I'm around, but I'd kill for him to just come and say hello. He's a bitter man, and that bitterness darkened every bit of joy I tried to share with him. We were brought together by a special kind of loneliness. But while I see my life as an opportunity, he sees his as a curse. And he may not be wrong. Our circumstances are very different. Still, I wish I could have made him happy, even if only for a little while. I couldn't, and it was hurting us both too much to keep trying. Well, you've seen it for yourself. He wasn't your average knight. He was always praised for his cunning and his devotion, both to his fellow knights and to the realm. But he was also a clever man, always thinking ahead. I suppose one lifetime of battles is enough for some. If he wishes to be left in peace, who are we to deny him? Keep going. Avalon has more to show you.
A truly fascinating man. He started out as a court jester, but it quickly became clear he was quite skilled with a blade as well. At first, I suspected he might be a spy for an enemy kingdom, but after he saved my life one day, my perspective changed. Of course, he still could have been a spy, but I decided to keep him close and watch him carefully, just in case. In time, though, he proved to be a loyal companion. He earned my trust, and without hesitation, I knighted him. Well, it didn't surprise me much. That was Dagonet through and through. He always spoke his mind, caring little for what others might think, even when it was my judgment he questioned. Only he and Palamedes ever dared to speak their minds openly in my presence, without fear of giving offense. Dagonet was decidedly less diplomatic than Palamedes, but it was precisely that honesty I valued in them both. Besides, from the start, he had a rare gift for foreseeing how things would unfold. I dare say, he even managed to make me laugh one last time.
You. Here. I can't believe this. After everything I did for you, you won't even let me rest in peace. I'm not talking to you, you mongrel. I'm speaking to the one hiding inside you, like a coward.
Let me speak to him, young one. Galahad, my friend. We come to you in our hour of need.
It wasn't enough to tamper with immortality on your own. You had to drag us into it too. Do you know, it was only after I died that I understood what you'd done. Becoming a Four-Dweller, Arthur. Really?
I've always valued your counsel, Galahad. But we were losing the war, and you were no longer at my side. I had no choice but to try becoming as powerful as they were.
Nonsense. There's always a choice, and you have made the worst one. How could you fraternize with the enemy? Go against everything we fought for? You're right. I wasn't there. If I had been, I'd have beaten you to death with my bare fists before letting you follow the advice of that old charlatan.
It was my choice, not Merlin's.
Keep telling yourself that. I know the truth. I always knew the old man was a manipulator. And you had too much on your shoulders to see what he was really doing.
I respect your opinion, Galahad. I only regret that we meet under these circumstances.
As do I. So, what now? You're taking my remains for a little trip. And I'm supposed to serve you again? Not that you're giving me a choice. If you take me from this place, my essence will be bound to your will. I never really had a choice, did I? The war, your transformation. It would have happened with or without me.
Probably, yes. But now, at least we can see it through to the end.
Do what you want. It's not like I have a choice. This'll be the last time you hear me fully aware.
Then, is there anything you want to say to me, Galahad?
Just one thing. May the weirdness take you, traitor.
Such proud men, Galahads. I wonder what it is about that name that makes it heavier to bear than most. They're always more driven, but more volatile too. I've heard some things about Sir Galahad the Pure. Things I'd rather never hear again. You've met Sir Galahad the Pure? It fascinates me how he both is and isn't the ideal successor to the first Galahad. They share the same drive, the same sharp edge of cruelty, but for the first Galahad, that cruelty was a means to an end, not the end itself. Or so I've heard. On the contrary, Everything is always changing. Sometimes it's hard to keep up. Though, maybe that's just me finally getting properly old. But you're right about one thing. Violence, and those who thrive on it, never seem to change. The worst kind of constant in a sea of chaos. Another night still waits in the mist.
Galahad. I should have known he wouldn't be too happy about being brought back. But I hoped he'd died in peace, and would return in peace. I was wrong. He led a dangerous expedition, one of the most important of the Age of Conquest. Had it succeeded, the war might have ended much sooner, but it didn't. And so the fighting went on. After the war, I had his remains recovered and this tomb built. Over time, he came to be seen as a noble martyr. But who he really was, well, you've seen that for yourself. I regret the fate he met. Let's make sure his sacrifice wasn't in vain. War isn't a time when you can afford likes and dislikes. Galahad was a great warrior. He made decisions no other commander dared to. But would he have been a good leader in times of peace? I doubt it. That's why news of his death in battle came as a relief to me. Men like him, once they gain momentum, are nearly impossible to stop. In that regard, he and Galahad the Pure were quite alike.
kept us waiting. Your tomb's gathered quite a lot of cobwebs and spiders. Best tidy up a little before you settle in for eternity. I've been resting in a tomb for the past 3 centuries, so not much, really. I've been resting in a tomb for the past 3 centuries, so not much, really. Unless, of course, you're pointing out that I'm not in my own grave. In which case, fair enough. But what can I say? I do enjoy the occasional posthumous strolls. Ah, of course. Of all the forgotten knights who never came, you stand closest to the king. When you finally join us, you'll tell us what it was like to hear his voice, to share so many battles by his side. I won't deny my envy, but in death, you'll be our equal. And then we'll speak as comrades. I've met many who said the same, loudly and proudly, like it meant something. Their bones now line forgotten crypts, still clutching that same bold promise. Sooner or later, you'll find yourself on my side of existence. So yeah, no bold promises, unless they carry some potential to be fulfilled. I came to this tomb of my own accord, as did many of us. I knew our time was drawing to a close. The gates opened, and so I entered. I had a few words with Gawaina and then headed to the crypt prepared for me. With my own gravestone on my back, I treated it as my penance. Sometimes, when men want something badly enough, they're capable of truly awful things. I killed 5 knights. Each one stood higher than me in the race for a seat at the round table. 4 I cut down during a tournament. The last I drowned in a river. He was drunk as a skunk, didn't even comprehend what was happening. Quite the burden to repent for, wouldn't you say? Fine, lad. If someone's to watch over my corpse. Imagine long ago he had more to do. It's been a while since anyone new passed through. I see. You pity the wretch who never reached his dreams. How noble of you, truly. But I propose something fairer. Let's test it. Your cause, my worth. If I lose with dignity, I am all yours. If you still consider me a good candidate for service, but if you fall, then you'll lie in the tomb that's been waiting for you since before you drew your first breath. So, what do you say? Splendid. Let's begin. Here is my oath. I shall be ready to fight at your side whenever you should call upon me. Thank you.
Meeting him made me reflect on one thing. How many great knights were swallowed by their ambition to sit at the round table. Somewhere along the way, things must have gone terribly wrong. If men could kill one another for something that was meant to be an honor, I pity the lost knights of this world. I'm glad this one will have a chance to fight at his king's side and serve me, as he always wished to.
It is you. I wasn't expecting such a grandiose visit, my king, and I see that you were brought here by some lass. That's kind of you, stranger. But you'll have to pardon the mess. These halls ain't fit to welcome a king, nor the one who bears him within. Ah, right. Sometimes I forget that not everything's as clear as it once was. Truth be told, I tend to lose sight of a few important things myself. But to the point, my name is Gawaina. I'm a craftsman, a blacksmith, and the keeper of this place. The pleasure is mine, kind lass. And your grace, of course. This, kind lass, is the tomb of the knight who never came. There was once a grim legend that claimed this tomb was built out of fear. Fear of an ancient curse Morgana cast upon Arthur. She foretold that all the great knights who were denied the king's favor and honors would rise at the end of days as an army of the dead. They would march on Camelot, seize the capital, shatter the Round Table to dust, defile the royal relics, and from the ruins, forge a kingdom of their own. But those are just stories from the old days. This tomb opens only for two kinds of brave souls. Knights who were never granted a seat at the Round Table, and the king himself. I've been sitting here long enough to know what kind of knight visits the tomb. And your visit is unlike any other. No, I would cease to be. I'm bound here by an oath I made to his grace. The one who now dwells within you, but is perfectly fine. It is my home, and so it shall remain for all time. Anyone who finds their way here usually comes seeking eternal rest, and rest like that calls for a proper gravestone. I carve each one with my own chisel. They also bring battle-scarred equipment. My hammer mends what needs mending, so it will serve them well in the land of the dead. And the dead? Well, they need a keeper. Someone to watch over them when unrest stirs. Believe me, those who chase glory in life don't always lie in peace. Really kind of you, lass, but no. Or, well, maybe there is something. You see, I once made a habit of carving gravestones in advance, so that any knight arriving here could choose the one beneath which they'd rest for eternity. Unfortunately, I've misplaced me chisel. It slipped and fell all the way into the depths. Clang, clang, clang. If you could find it, I would be most grateful. If we do not speak of them, then we won't stir their slumber. The dead prefer silence. Best not to call their names. Ah, Sir Vast still lingers then. I'm not surprised. Some knights wear death like a cloak, and even the grave forgets to close behind them. As for the empty grave, every soul that walks this tomb finds their name carved somewhere. It doesn't mean the end is near. Only that the place remembers who you are, even if you forget. When the body finally rests in the grave, the epitaph completes itself. Aye, few in knights these days, and even less knighthood to speak of. No wonder there's so few of them come. Such are the times we live in. You did? I was starting to fear that one day I'd have to descend to the lower levels myself. I try not to go that deep. Makes me drowsy. Sometimes I feel like lying down in one of the empty tombs myself. Ha! Thank you. It is a great honor to receive aid from the king and his companion. Here, take this. I hope you both will find it useful.
And so, it is done. Now everything rests in your hands. Their souls, and the fate of Avalon. There is. But before I explain, understand this. I haven't lied to you. What we've done has helped. Those tormented souls and Avalon itself. But it's not the whole story. Arthur and his king still need to be released into the Wordness. I can make that happen. Not yet, but it's a choice you'll have to face when the time comes. Nothing. Avalon will go on, as it always has. But ask yourself, is that the right path? Should people live in fear of the Wordness, generation after generation? Should they carry on, haunted by an incomprehensible threat? Or should they be allowed to embrace it, to become part of it, without fear? No, I want them to be more. My people may be close to the Wordness, but even we aren't immune to its more violent moods. What I want is for the people of Avalon to embrace the Wordness, and for it to embrace them in return. Arthur and his knights are the pillars of humanity in Avalon, and His Majesty's soul is unique, part human, part Four-Dweller. It's the best combination we could hope for, if we want to survive here. Releasing their souls into the Wordness would leave a permanent mark of humanity on this land. The Wordness wouldn't see us as intruders anymore, but as part of itself. Arthur and his knights worked tirelessly to make Avalon ours. This is their chance to finish what they started. Thank you. That's all I ask. And before you go, there's one last thing I'd like to do. I hereby welcome you as a full member of the Royal Geografers. May you carry the legacy of Iryu the Fast Rider and Eleanor Dunn. May your paths be clear, your burdens light, and may Avalon remember your name. Farewell, traveler. I hope our paths cross again.